We now have Creighton head coach Greg McDermott. We'll start with a statement, then we'll take questions.
It was a fist fight between two very good basketball teams. The easy shots were hard to come by, and it's two differing philosophies. Obviously, they were trying to pack it in and make it difficult for us to get dug touches and giving some help when they caught it. And we made the decision to play their post one-on-one and stay a little closer to shooters so that some of those threes were a little more challenged. And as Antoine and Grant mentioned, Gregory Echenike really anchored our defense in there. And by Stutz not being able to get easy baskets against him, it allowed us to do what we needed to do defensively. And then offensively, it took us a little while to figure out what was there because of what they were doing with Doug. And once we did that, we got easy baskets. We got the floor opened up. Antoine and Grant got in the teeth of the defense and were able to get some layups. And we actually missed a few layups early in that half as well. But really proud of the way my team defended. Obviously, Wichita State's a very talented offensive team, and I thought we did a decent job on them, except for the last 8 or 9 minutes of the first half.
Greg, if there was an issue with your team, according to some people, it was defense. So how proud of you are to see this kind of an effort?
Very proud. This is probably, the last 2 days is probably as little of time as I've spent on an opponent. Obviously, we know Wichita State's personnel. Most of them played last year. But if we didn't fix the things that we had going south, it didn't matter how well prepared we were for our opponent. So we just got back to what we had to do as a team defensively to cover up some of our mistakes. I mean, the reality of it is it isn't usually the team. It isn't necessarily the team that plays the best that wins. It's a team that makes the fewest mistakes. And when you do make a mistake, do you cover it up? And we didn't do that at all against Missouri State, and they made us pay for it. And I thought tonight we did a better job when we were beat off the dribble of rotating and making them make an extra pass or two, and then trying to close out. And, a big key to the game, getting out rebounded by 2 by Wichita, you feel like you've won that battle because they're so good across the board because of the guard court.
How happy were you to see Carl Hall go to the bench at the 14-minute mark?
He's watching him on tape doesn't do him justice. He's such a physical presence defensively, and then offensively, even from the start of the year, the early games watching him to now, obviously he's really making good strides. He's going to be a force in this league for the next year and a half. I was very, very impressed.
The emphasis at halftime on rotating and getting the proper spots?
It was on rotating and then trying to open up the floor a little offensively to take advantage of how they were defending Doug and Ethan on ball screens. They weren't leaving them, staying next to them on the perimeter, and we were able to open some stuff up. Grant got a couple layups. Antoine got in there deep, got some layups, and then Josh Jones hit a couple big shots, which we desperately needed.
Greg, when Grant was on the floor, you outscored them by about 20. It was about his plus-minus with his foul trouble. I mean, how much did he need you in the second half, and what difference he makes?
I think anybody that understands basketball understands how valuable he'd be to any team he plays on. He's just got a sense about him on the floor, and he doesn't care if he scores, but he can score. And if you watch our team close enough, when there's a huddle, there's one voice, there's one guy talking, and it's him. And that's really rare for someone that's a first-year player, number one, to be voted captain, and number two, to command that much respect on the playing floor. So, as he mentioned, he's getting those 2 quick fouls too often, and it's making our life a little more difficult in the first half. But he's a very, very valuable member of this team.